Hello, and welcome to Business Focus, produced by the Greater Reston Chamber of Commerce. My name is Angela Inzerillo with Impact Business Solutions, and I'm privileged to be a host as we highlight the great work our local community is doing. Welcome to February. First up, Kelly McNerney and Christina Nedic, the co-chairs of the Chamber's Emerging Professionals Council, here to talk about how they and their organization is cultivating the next generations of professionals. Very excited to speak with them. Next up, the lovely Ms. Maggie Parker with the Reston Community Center, here to talk about how they support and collaborate within the Reston community. And finally, the lovely Samantha Marshall, the woman behind the camera at Studio 151 Photography. Let's go meet them. So please welcome my next guest, Kelly McNerney, principal at Cerity Partners, and Christina Nedic with the CST Group CPAs. Ladies, welcome.
Hi, Angela. Thanks for having us.
Yeah, thanks for being here. It's great to see both of you. And I know it's the start of the year. I know I was telling in the last episode, 2024 is here. I'm not sure exactly when that happened, but I am thrilled to have you both on because the emerging professionals are doing so many great things at the Chamber. So this is a super opportunity to share what you guys are doing and kind of what's coming up. So before we do that, because you guys are fantastic volunteers, why don't you just share a minute about what your day job is? So Kelly, why don't you kick it off?
Yeah, sure. So I am a principal at Cerity Partners. I am a certified financial planner and a lead financial advisor there. So I work with mostly high net worth individual and really we're the quarterback to their financial picture. So we do investment management, retirement planning, some tax planning, but I leave most of that up to Christina and just advise on all things related to your financial world.
Fantastic. And so Christina, what about yourself?
So I'm a tax CPA with CST Group. We're located in Reston. We're a full service CPA firm, so we provide our clients with both audit and tax services, work with both business and individual clients and all over the country. And we work pretty closely with Kelly as well.
Yeah, and you guys, we'll talk about it in a minute here, but you met through the Chamber, right? And you guys work together.
We did, yeah.
It's been like 4 or 5 years now, but yeah.
That's amazing. So that's part of the story, right? So let's talk a little bit about the emerging professionals, formerly young professionals, but now they're emerging. And we don't have any age group tied to our emerging professionals group, but you guys are doing so much. So why don't you share a little bit, Kelly, kick it off with about your mission, and kind of what you guys are about.
Yeah, our mission is really to cultivate the next generation of professionals by getting together and experiencing things on education, networking, mentorship, and giving back to the community. So we do that in various different ways, but we're a really friendly group. We're an open group, and the goal is just to bring us all together and share ideas and help us through different situations. It's really nice to have a group to lean on outside of your day-to-day office.
Yeah, I know you guys either meet in person or you meet outside the Chamber and come up with these ideas and thoughts for what you're going to do throughout the year. So some of the goals of the group, Christina, you want to dive into that a little bit?
Yeah, so our goals are just to increase our attendance at our events that we put on. We do about one every quarter, and then just to increase our member council as well.
And from an events perspective, I think you guys try to have one event per year where it'll be on the Chamber calendar and maybe have a panel or something like that. Is that typical?
Yeah, so we probably do one a quarter. It goes between goal settings. We have one that's end of the year, right before, tax season and stuff, but it's adulting in the F word, which is finance. I think it's always a popular one. I think it helps younger staff get really acquainted with, the real estate, mortgage, what to do with retirements and kind of knowing more about their taxes is a big one. Obviously, we love it because we're in that field. But
you guys are the experts, and we don't know what we don't know. And I can tell you, when you call emerging professionals, I'm going to say it's probably more in the 20s and 30s, right? Maybe 40s, whatever. Either way, emerging. And some people they're not thinking about that, and they need to. So, professionals that are in, just starting work and starting their career or building their career, what you guys are doing is a fantastic for them to kind of build their future. So these topics are great. And I think you're doing an event coming up in March, right? I think part of it is talking about kind of getting back to basics with networking. Is that right?
Yeah, so I think our next event is sometime in March that we're planning right now. It's kind of a networking 101, helping with members, elevator pitch kind of tools and tricks they can have to be more effective when they're networking, and just trying to bring professionals in to help with that. I think it's really beneficial, especially with pandemic and them being virtual, kind of them getting face to face and network more.
Do you guys have these discussions at your meeting? Like, how do these topics come up? Is it the needs of the group, or are you looking at what's trending? I don't know. What would you say?
Yeah, I would say we are very, very open to feedback. We love it. And we meet on the third Thursday of every month, usually at a restaurant that's also a member of the Reston Chamber. So we like to, be able to share some food and drinks and brainstorm ideas. Most of our topics come out of those meetings.
Yeah.
And I would say one of the biggest things about the chamber in general and all of our councils and committees is the opportunity to lead. So you guys have led for now a number of years, but before that you were just members of the group, right?
Correct. Yes.
And then the opportunity to lead, is that change every year or every couple of years? Depends.
We've been doing this for a couple of years now, so happy to turn it over to someone. As I can't be in the position forever, right? But we love to see people come in and lead, and the first way to lead is by taking on one of these events,
right?
And that's a huge help to us, and it's an ability for you to be able to be in that leadership role, market yourself, and help us plan an event.
Yeah, and network with wonderful people like you guys. So what other industries, who are the other members roughly? You don't have to say their names, but like what other industries do you guys have?
Marketing, digital marketing, real estate. We have an agent that sometimes comes to our meetings, and even people in the same industry as us. I think it's great to collab and learn from each other as well.
Yeah, so you guys are welcome. And again, I know it's not age prohibitive, so you kind of welcome all ages to either attend a meeting and or an event, of course.
Absolutely. We especially for our events, we love opening it up to all chamber members. I think that's one of my goals, is to bridge the gap between our emerging professionals group and the chamber at large by starting to get people to come out to network night and go as a group to make people feel more comfortable and really pair up with some people that maybe are nervous to attend something that big.
Yeah, and I don't want to peg it on the younger generation. That's really hard to network and be in front of folks, but it's hard in general for most people, right? But it's probably particularly hard when you're first kind of entering into the workforce. So anything else before we tell people how to get engaged? Did I miss anything?
I think that covers it.
Yeah.
All right. That's awesome. Well, I'm so glad that you guys met through the chamber and that you guys work and partner with each other. Welcome those who are watching to learn more at restonchamber.org. There is an events page that will talk about all the upcoming events, particularly this one in March that will be posted, as well as under committees and councils. You guys are the Emerging Professionals Council. Your lovely pictures are there. So if you want to attend or visit, I'd suggest reaching out to either Kelly or Christina. Another great way would be probably to connect with you guys on social media. Would that be a good idea?
Yeah, I think if you add us on LinkedIn, we'll definitely be able to invite you to our events. So definitely add us.
Yeah, so connect on LinkedIn. And then I would say that if anyone has any questions on the group or just, the chamber in general, certainly reach out. Ladies, fabulous seeing you and being here. I appreciate your time. And I appreciate all you do for the chamber and the emerging professionals. And I look forward to seeing you soon.
You too.
Great. Thank you.
So please welcome my next guest, the lovely Ms. Maggie Parker, Director of Outreach and Collaboration with the Reston Community Center. Maggie, welcome.
Hi. Angela, it's great to be here. Thanks so much for having me and the Community Center.
It was always a pleasure to see you and have you. And okay, there you go. You stilled for a second, but now you're back. Good. No worries at all. So listen, you've got quite the extensive background. You have been a member of the community for many, many years. So my question is, like, how did you get a little bit of how you got to the Reston Community Center and what you're doing now?
Thanks for that really simple question, Angela. I appreciate it. I've been fortunate to work in Reston a long, long time, and my main mission has always been advocacy and community engagement and trying to bring together all the beautiful things that the community has to offer. And my most recent job was working, lobbying and delivering the Silver Line into Reston and through the airport into Loudoun County and bringing out new communities along the Silver Line. That was really well underway after 12 years of doing that. But the community still needed some engagement, and I still had a burning desire to work. And the Reston Community Center at that time was reorganizing their management levels because of the growth that they had had. This job of the Department of Offsite and Collaboration came up, and I was very fortunate to interview and earn the position.
Well, it sounds perfect for you, and they're lucky to have you. For those of you, I mean, I guess people generally know what a community center is, but like at a high level, what is the mission of Reston specifically? The organization itself, yeah.
And people do have general ideas of community centers, and I think they vary from community and, even throughout states and countries. Our community center is funded by Special Tax District 5, which is within the Reston quasi boundaries.
Okay.
And it's an agency that reports up to Fairfax County government, but it is independent in its funding. Our mission is to enrich lives and build community. How do you do that? Through it's a broad variety of things. We have 2 physical locations. The one that I'm sitting in right now at Hunter's Woods has everything from 2 indoor aquatics facilities, 2 pools, all the way through a woodworking shop, classrooms for smaller, younger people, technology, all the way up to a state-of-the-art 235-seat theater. So you can go everywhere from a swimming lesson with your tot and take them all the way through till they're actors or singers on stage.
And we've had several events as chamber. Yeah, we've had several events right there, center stage, and like you said, there's an aquatic.
Right. And I forgot to mention the big, beautiful spaces that can be rented for various events, the community room, other spaces for meetings and things. We are open to our citizens and those beyond, but citizens, our local folks certainly get first priority. But you're right. I'm glad you brought that up.
Yeah, that was going to be my next question. Is these services and programs, are they just for Restonians? Is it limited?
That's a great question. No, they are open to the public. Restonians do get first priority. They need to register as a Reston family I can tell you that every program is significantly subsidized by the community center. And the prices for any of whether it's an educational program or a theatrical performance, is really a true bargain for Restonians and very reasonable for the community at large.
And so as a member of the Reston Chamber, I think I can leverage that relationship, right?
I am so glad you brought that up, because that is one of the key components of my job. Yes, it is anyone who lives in Reston or works in Reston. So certainly all of the property owners are immediate members, but anyone who works for one of them and can come and show an ID or the business address is considered a Restonian.
That's great. That's great. So let's talk more about what you do. So talk more about your particular role in the outreach and who you're looking to meet and, kind of how we could support you, of course.
Oh, thanks so much. To give you the role in a nutshell, all of the programming and activities that I spoke to you about have been so well attended, and especially when they've only been delivered within the four walls of our two community centers. So I guess that would be 8 walls, but it's 2 separate buildings. The mission of Offsite in Collaboration is to bring these things out into the community, to deliver. And we have been the department actually spun off of the success of delivering and sponsoring concerts and activities out in the community. Last summer, we ran 130 events that were primarily musically based, but out in the community, the bulk of those from May through October. But in addition to that, we have so many things that would benefit young students, moms, entire families, family activities. We like to focus on Reston's 4 opportunity neighborhoods. Typically, they are underserved, and they're large communities. And so we love to go in and deliver things to them so that they become more familiar with the community center, how it operates. Would you like to learn to sew? Would you like to have reading programs?
Yeah.
Our tutoring programs we do all the time at our centers. Should we be delivering those off-site? And again, another big thing is going into our new neighbors in the transit corridor.
Yes.
And enlightening them and bringing them in to our fold, so to speak.
It's all about awareness and getting people don't know, what exists and what the opportunities are. So couldn't have a much more perfect person than Miss Parker in that role. So thank you.
You are welcome. And thank you. And the chamber brings us many missions and concepts for how we can further support the community, sponsoring Ethics Day, for example, or sharing our resources with the business people, both small and large, to let them know that their folks should avail themselves of all of these riches that we have to offer.
100%. And this, obviously the chamber so appreciates your sponsorship and partnership. And so I thank you for being here today. Time always, flies when you're having fun. So as we wrap up, what's the best way for those to either get in touch with you and learn more about these programs and services? It's just the website, I'm assuming.
Thanks so much, Angela. Yeah, the website is the best way because that way they can see everything, the schedule of events, the community calendar. That is www.restonCommunityCenter.com.
All right, my dear. It was great to see you. Thank you for being here today. And I look forward to seeing you soon.
Thanks so much. Great to see you.
So please welcome my next guest, the lovely Samantha Marshall, owner of Studio 151 Photography. Samantha, welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
It's great to see you. I'm finally glad that you're on the show. You've been a member of the chamber now a couple of years, always behind the camera. So now in front of the camera.
Sometimes photographers prefer that.
Yes. It's like the event planners. Yeah, a lot of people are like, I'd rather be behind the screen. No, this is fun. Just a conversation to share what you do and introduce you, to the community. So, a little bit about your background, and I love to learn how people started their business. So why don't we start there?
Yeah. So I actually started the business officially 10 years ago in October. So if you think about it, October, which is a spooky month, 2013, which is a spooky year. I just really like grasping, things like that. But it all worked out really well, and it organically grew. So I'm just kind of excited. But I've been taking photos probably since I was like 5. I won't date myself too much. But the Reston Community Center used to have photography classes and a dark room there, and you could
Yeah.
kind of go and do film. And that's where I learned a lot of
Awesome.
like basics, and then going into high school and things like that. So then when I started the actual business, it was because for years I'd been taking pictures of my friends' families, and it just got to the point where I was like getting better and better, and I get paid for this. Yeah. So I set up the LLC, and it's been amazing ever since. So
Wow. So you're a longtime Restonian.
yes, I was actually born like the year before my parents bought their house in Reston. So
Wow.
yeah.
So it's an organic. I love it. You're good at what you do, and you started a business at it, and you're doing really well. Well, let's talk more about your services, because as usual, when we talk about photographers, the bridezillas, the dogs, the kids, right? So what services do you offer? Because you offer mostly corporate, but I know you do a bunch of stuff, and more about like who they're specifically designed for.
Okay, so first is studio work. So I have a studio in Sterling, and it's about 750 square feet. I have 2 shooting rooms and the living room here, which is like where I just sit and remain calm with my and so
It's big.
Yeah.
I mean, people, they're getting a photo taking.
Oh yeah, it's really nice. Turn the TV on for the kids. It's really nice. So we do studio work. So within that, I can do families. I do cake smashes for babies and adults. And then this past couple years, I started ramping up more with headshots. So I have an entire room devoted to headshots. And on that flip side of corporate, we have events. So we'll go out and do events work for people. And then also because of the studio size and the fact that I have so much stuff here, like we have so many lights and things like that, I started teaching a few years back. So I have classes at least twice a month in the studio, and it's usually on weekends because everybody works and they need, to have some time on the weekends to have fun, And so it's very organic. Every month I have a featured model, and I teach lighting and things like that. And then the second class of the month, it's usually a topic of interest. So like food photography or still life photography. So the still life's coming up in April, and I'm actually going to be doing where we create arrangements of flowers. So you learn 2 things. You learn how to arrange flowers, and then you use that arrangement in your photography. And then I teach the old world style still life that you see like in paintings. So it's just kind of interesting topics like that.
And once you learn, I'm going to call those some of the basics, you can apply it then to probably most every other type of picture you would take. And now with the advanced photography, whatever skill sets, if you want to say that, with the phones that we have today.
Oh yeah.
The settings.
Some of the students come with just a phone. Yeah. And I've had people bring in rigs, like we have these I have like some props to show you, but like these kind of rigs, put your phone in it, it helps keep it steady. And I've had like elderly people come, and they'll have things like that because they shake and they can't hold their camera anymore. So they found solutions by using their phone. And your phone is really dynamic. It's just, it's just not great for event photography.
Right. And you do a lot of the chamber events, and thank you for being there. I mean, so I was going to say, what are some of the biggest challenges that most of your clients have, and like, how do you help them? Because, we all can't be everywhere, take our pictures, do the planning, execute the event. So what are some of those biggest challenges?
So on that note, that's a perfect way to put it. A lot of people think, oh, I'll just have so-and-so do it from the office. Well, then they're not enjoying the event. And you're also probably tasking them with 5 other things, right? And then they didn't get everything you wanted, and then you're disappointed at the end. So it's better to just seriously just hire somebody who's either external to the office or just, tell them everything that you need done. And that's what we do. We come in and it's I treat almost every event like a wedding anyway.
Yeah.
So it's like I'll get details and group pictures and try to find the most important people that to the company and make sure they're taking pictures of. And because that's the other thing, the host usually is not in the pictures because they're so busy. So that's important, right? So.
Oh yeah. And then
sometimes I'm never in a picture, but
I know. I was thinking that sometimes we do a selfie and I'm like, Samantha.
Yeah.
But
and then go ahead. Oh, well, the other challenge is personal. People don't like their picture being taken, or they think that they have this like block. I fall into that category as well. But this year, I now have not hired, but I barter with other photographers and make sure that I get my picture taken at least once a month, because I need to understand how the client feels, like,
Yeah.
warts and all kind of thing. Like, I don't know what to say when I'm a client, but I certainly know what to say when I'm a photographer to tell the client what to do.
Yeah.
So it's just very interesting, just that interaction. But so I do this thing called facial expression coaching, and it works so well, especially with headshots, because the more uncomfortable you are, the better the shot's probably going to be anyway.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
a lot of people are super shocked at some of the things I tell them to do. They're just kind of in these weird positions, and it's a phenomenal shot. And they're just like, why didn't I know how to look like that before? So we laugh about it, and then people thank me, but that's okay.
Again, that's why you're good at what you do. So good at what you do.
Yeah.
But people try too hard. It's like smile and you're like,
Yeah. Yeah. It's really not even about like telling somebody when you're about to take the shot. It's I take shots. Like, we'll take probably 30 or 40 shots to get 2 or 3 that are amazing. So yeah.
Well,
I'd say that's the biggest challenge is probably people's self-worth and being worried and not thinking that they're going to be pretty enough or whatever, but and
Sam.
men too.
Good. Oh, exactly. I'm only laughing because I think about us at an event and I'm like, Sam, over here, take my picture, but it's usually a group of us and I know you are. And I just want it to be captured. I want it to be fun. And you always capture those genuine pictures. And even when you're not looking, I've seen those pictures. I'm like, oh, I wasn't looking.
Yeah. Sometimes I like the ones where people are like, they're like,
not paying any attention. Yeah. So when we met you, I think we had met at like a chamber event and, you're like, oh, do I join? Do I not join? So just like really quickly, how has being a member of the chamber helped you in your business?
Well, first of all, like I said before, most photographers are introverts. So being part of a chamber like Reston is amazing because it's more family and everyone's so welcoming. And I've just felt like I belonged since even being just a visitor. So that was very, very nice. I do belong to other chambers, so I can compare for myself, like what has worked and what doesn't work. And I get it. What do I go to? What do I not go to? But I'll say most of the stuff for Reston I'll go to, like even like, the tech things, you can learn and people are so giving. But I think this is going into my 3rd year at Reston. And what I was going to tell you that was interesting is that my mom and dad actually belonged to Reston back in like 80s, like 80s and 90s, because they had a company in Reston. It was a tech company. Perfect. And so I already kind of knew all about Reston Chamber, and I kind of grew up, hearing my mom's story, things like that. And it was always positive. So that was another reason why it was a no-brainer.
So cool. Oh, I love that story. I didn't even know that. And I didn't even set you up with that. So that's awesome. Yeah. Well, Sam, it's been great having you on the show. Thank you for being here and sharing your story. So how can people find you? What's your website?
The website is www.studio151photo.com.
Perfect.
And everything's on there. You can get to my email and my phone and
awesome. And you can see your profile in the chamber website if you check restonchamber.org as well. But again, great having you. Great seeing you. Thank you for being here. Thanks for all you do for the chamber. And I look forward to seeing you soon.
Yay. Thank you so much.
So there you have it. Another fabulous business focus produced by the Greater Reston Chamber of Commerce. Thank you to my wonderful guests that stopped by today to share their stories. Kelly and Christina from the Emerging Professionals Council over at the Chamber love what they're doing for the upcoming next generation of professionals in the areas of education and networking and mentorship and give back. They're doing it all. So if you're interested in learning more, check out the website. And then next, Maggie Parker, who knew all that the Reston Community Center was doing with the Reston community. Love learning more about what they're doing. If you're interested in learning more, obviously check out their website and speak with Maggie directly. Next and last, but certainly not least, is Samantha Marshall, the woman behind the camera. Love speaking with her, learning more about her business and all she does to make you and I look better in front of the camera. I look forward to seeing you next time.